Hey, this is August, and this is the storage drum. I just got through cleaning it up. This is where I keep the 2 rear airbags in nitrogen, so not to have oxygen in there. That's what they do with cheese or anything they don't want to spoil or rot. Hey, take the oxygen out. You can't do it. And that is why those 2 airbags look so good. I need to take the airbags apart and put them back into their container of nitrogen for storage. But this was a fun experiment for me anyway. I enjoyed it. But we don't want to make this airbag take too much of a permanent. These are, hey, you might need a plate. For some reason you're out on a trip, might have to put a plate in it. Being able to access this hardware and get it off easy on, I sure have seen Scott and his team struggle with airbag bolts because they're just so rusty and rotted. But I just got through cleaning up all this stainless steel hardware. I mean non-stainless steel hardware, the bolts, and putting them into the rings, and that's where they're going to stay. They're going to go into the nitrogen container where they won't oxidize anymore or show any more rust. They'll be in the nitrogen with the airbags instead of where a cat can pee on them. Check it out. Part of it. Oh man, looks like I blew some dirt. You know, I was using the that air nozzle, and I just noticed, man, there's a little dirt, so I was injecting some particles in here. There we go. All right. As you can see, it's up in the air. See, if you put 2 here, like one like this, one like this, and then I don't know. See what it takes to pick up the whole tractor. If I can. Let's see this one. Let's see. Okay. I'm afraid it might want to move over a little bit. We'll set her down quick if it starts. Oh my goodness. 10, 15. Oh wow. It's got it at 20 PSI. I've got this baby up off the ground. But solidly. 20 PSI. So anyway, there's the airbag that has the gauge in it. I'm gonna leave it in there for right now. That makes it a little harder to store. We will take it out. We'll put the hardware in a different bag. Okay, let's get this side. But I'm sure not gonna pull the bolts out of the. That's 12 bolts. Get them in there and get them correct. Right there. Yeah, 1 year. I think the bus operates 35, 40 pounds tops on these airbags. If that. Meow, 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 kitties. This is just as pliable as it was before. That was I'm very pleased with the demonstration. So I will be putting these back in unpainted steel inside these cans. A little bit of moisture. You can see when I show you the inside of this can how clean it is, but it did get a spot where I dripped something in. So this is what the airbags looked like when they came, only the hardware was in bags. And this hardware is going to stay in this thing because it's such a pain in the butt to put in and all that. And this way I know right where it is, and it will be in nitrogen, so not one piece. I don't care if it was covered with acid. If it didn't have oxygen, it's not going anywhere. So I'll meet you at the at the nitrogen service. This is the airbag that we lifted the Ivan Bell in the air with, right here. And we are getting ready to put it in to its storage can. And I'm going to, I've got another one just like this that has bags in it. It has the small bag. I'm gonna open it and check those things out and see who's squashed and that too, because I'm putting these two back in here for, hey, I don't have any reason to go wanting to put these on. All I want to do is preserve them, and I don't want any oxygen. I don't put them back in there. Okay, well, let's open this up. I want to show this thing to you. Now I didn't treat this thing as well as I should have either. Or it might even had, I don't know. I thought, it seems to me like I certainly gave some of these away to the point of, whoa, and this is the California. I had to bring this thing in on the bus, so hey, I had to limit what I brought. And bringing the airbags, bringing the spare airbags rates, and having those spare airbags in a absolutely secure container that just keeps them pristine for you is where it is at, and it's what I'm demonstrating now. But I need this loaded up, boy. This old drum. I mean, this is taking a hell of a beating, keeping these airbags perfect, because I didn't always keep it inside. For some, or I don't know what I did to end up with the top so rusty. Not through, but just, you know, showing it. It's been treated. But I really want the best for you guys that are, I mean, I know a lot of us folks out there, I mean, we ain't made of money. Nobody's made of money that does this for fun. They don't spend it all. So, but if I can help you with, I can't think of any, maybe you could get two in, but whatever, I don't care. You need to carry your airbags. Spares need to be a good bet anytime and last for a long time. You don't want to have to buy it every. Okay, and this is a non-plated, absolutely unplated can. I mean, that will rust down in there. But if you put things in it and then fill it with nitrogen, nobody's going to rust or rot. And it's not too bad, not really. There's a few little spots in the bottom, but they're very, very light, with maybe something that I set in there or somebody else set in there before. I don't know, but I know I needed this to treat my airbags correctly. So, put the purge line on the nitrogen. I don't want the can, the rustable can, touching the rubber while we're in this state of. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. All right, what did I do? Here we go. Get the nitrogen hose. See, we have 1,000 pounds, which is enough. I need to fill this because that's not to do a regular setup pressure test and stuff. You'll be getting into more than that. All right. Comes the nitrogen. Now what you do, you fill up a refrigeration system just before you find the leak, number one. Then you fill the system with nitrogen, forcing everything else out. Very fine set of, same thing goes, bolts. Okay, and oh yeah, this is I don't know why I didn't want to get 2 sets of long bolts, but that's sure what I got here. So these could be, it doesn't matter, you could thread them down a little bit, cut them down. Put little no locks on them. They'll be fine and dandy as long as you don't just road salt them to death and stuff. Yeah, they won't take much anyway. And these are, see, this is all a long set. And why do I have 2 bags if they're all the same? I don't know. That's just consolidating environment. Touching these. Okay, that's a pretty good setup. Let's fill this thing with nitrogen. Well, I'm going to feel like I'm going to use guess I will have used about 500 of the 1,000 that I have. Okay, that's cool. Alright, pull those tight, Poke that down in the bottom just to make sure that the bottom end gets nitrogen as we're going. Alright, let's put this top back on here. I've got the purge running down into the can. And that will keep that equipment just pristine. That's what we'll do. If indeed we put the top back on, tighten up the bolt. And so when you run across this in the bay after you bought it, and you're trying to remember what it was, you'll have to come back to this video or open it and see what the hell's in there. Because what's in there is a set of 2 rear spare airbags, and they're getting closed up for the duration right now. airbags. Every food outfit that I work for that packaged food use nitrogen to keep their food fresh, especially the cheese folk. But I mean, that's, you know, it's what air is. It's 20, it's mostly nitrogen, 70 some odd percent of it, and we breathe it just normal, except it's no good to us. We need that. We need oxygen. They tell me. That's what I heard. All right. Alright, that'll fit right into the luggage bay with the other one. And you got to carry a spare, at least one spare for each type of airbag you carry on that bus in case of some kind of road trash. Just bearing a hole into it will ruin your day, not to be able to get one. I don't know if your bus is new enough, I guess this might not be a big deal. But for these older rides, hermetically sealed in nitrogen. And that nitrogen will suck up that oxygen that's in there. Any oxygen, it'll make regular air out of it. It's just a way to preserve things. I didn't realize they were doing that, but that's what they were doing. One night the nitrogen, and it was winter, and we're packaging at the Taco Bell warehouse cheese, and so I get called out. Oh, they got no nitrogen pressure. Well, you can't fill a bag with nitrogen. You're done. You can't shred the cheese either. You don't want to shred the cheese and not put it in a bag with its nitrogen. And it's a non-sticking, whatever that white stuff is that they put on cheese. I hope it's good. I believe that's about as tight as we want to make it. Right there. Yes, sir. Well, this is August. Comment. I strongly suggest nitrogen storage on your big rubber parts like that. Not straight, then you got trouble right here. Oh, every time you go by, it's good luck. It's bad luck if you don't. Oh yeah. Make sure that the rudder works right. It is. Yeah. Let's just do a hazmat removal. One thing I sure can say, now this is the original installation. It's not bad, but that's still better. And these are all resacked. That's original. I think maybe I ought to run the engine just a little bit. Let's go check it. Make sure I don't have something sitting out here that let me hit the fan belt like that bag of sand or something. Hold her up. It's been a hot day. It's over 100 degrees. And how's the engine feel? You know what? Yeah, it's not warm. I shouldn't do this, but it is easy when it's warm outside. Just a regular start where we don't use the pony. Take a look at it. Okay. First thing you want to do is check to make sure we can shut it off. Here is your, see there, emergency stop. Uh-oh, it clipped. All right, let's go back out, reset it, because we won't be able to start it with that down. We'll take a feel of the throttle in here in a minute too anyway. Got it open. Okay, let's reset. That's right here. You can just reach right over the top and then look underneath. Pull it around and reset it. There it is. All right, your lid works real good. Oh boy. Don't. All right, now let's put this on. Blower test is the name of the and then you can put your hand over here and feel how your shut off does. Yeah, I'm going from full rack to completely shut off and back. Right now I can feel it. Because, I mean, I pushed to shut it off. It's shutting off and the rack is moving very well. You can't always... How's my throttle feel? It feels like the governor's got it full strength. The only thing you can move that with right now is the shutoff. And the shutoff's been in the shutoff position. So it would have to rack open and then stick right there. So anyway, let's just turn off the blower test. And we're going to go up and start it from front. From up front, because I got to make sure that the gear shift is in neutral. I really do prefer starting it differently than this, but when you don't need the steering wheel taken on sun while we do this. Okay, what we need to do is just check this. See if you can move it back and forth that much. You're moving between the shifting racks. They're right lined up in neutral. Your brakes are on, so just grab your key and that sounds so good. How did it puff? It didn't puff. It might have puffed a little teeny bit, but it's not enough that we're going to see it. And it's a cool engine. But the thing that I like, you see that flashing light? I've had people tell me, hey man, I think you got a fire in the side of your bus. I'm thinking about changing the color or putting an LED there, but that's been there ever since we put this huge old alternator in. This is a very low power light. It just gives you a real indication of what's going on, and it maintains a really steady 14 volts. It's a field, to break it decays type. It builds and decays, so they have to do that. Whatever. That's the way they do it. And it's not scavenging all that well right now. There's things wrong with the way that engine is moving right now. It needs to be up at 1200 if you're making stops between the bus stations, you put the fast idle on, and that's 1200. You can run the air conditioning, full everything at 1200 RPM. You're keeping the bodies cool on a hot day. Absolutely imperative. You got to be able to keep those bodies cool, or they'll start dropping off. Don't want that. I really like what I see, the results with the valve cover job over here. It's going to happen. I mean, I got to get the other side.